I want to take this opportunity to, because it's very fresh in people's minds. It's something that I've been, you know, it's been rolling around in my mind, and I keep getting like this inspirational nudges to do it. I think that because of the temperature of the situation here in the United States, it's I think it's important that I point it out, because lies can go around the world 3-4 times before we can even notice them, and be able to do anything to repair or stop it. Nowadays it's almost like lies are just being flicked at everything and at everybody for any particular reason, but actually for the one reason, or just maybe say somebody's skin. They don't care who they get in trouble, as long as they get what they want. So there has been a whole lot of violence, against, well, we've all seen the news. I'm not going to be, repeat this stuff. But with what happens in the news and the temperature, I want to give a big shout out to Canelo Álvarez. Campeón, felicidades. Felicidades, y me encanta que hables inglés ahora. I love that you speak English now, Canelo, because now everybody can hear what a Mexican champion has to say. Julio Cesar Chavez, he was one of our greatest champions, just like Salvador Sanchez, the list goes on and on. But we never knew, like the rest of the world didn't know how they felt, really, really. Yeah, you can hear it from the translator, but you don't get that spirit. And I don't know if you noticed, but the same qualities that Canelo has are the same qualities that all the other Mexican fighters have, regardless if they're champions or not. They're all actually moving up to be champions. Obviously, they're there for a reason. They want to do this. They have that in their center of their heads, and they want to accomplish it, and they're gonna. They just need a little bit of a time. But the point is here that they all show the same qualities. They're all hardworking, humble. They're all God-fearing. Oh yeah, that's a big one with us. Because if you know what we know about the man upstairs, then you would tread carefully. Not necessarily like just being, fearful that you're gonna mess up, but it's more like we don't want to build a case against us. There are bad Mexicans, just like there are bad of everything. Bad apples are everywhere. But it's a tradition. It's also a tradition. Something that we keep up, because we don't want to upset those around us, our families, our grandmothers, our mothers, our priests, the congregation, and so on and so forth. I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore, but all of my spirituality is based in Catholicism. Like, I find that these schools they are like schools. The different religions, they are teaching you their interpretation of the all, what God is. And a lot of them give them different names. And there's been a lot of writers or prophets, or anointed ones. Okay? Again, they're all saying the same thing. The problem is that we as human beings, we have a limited intellect. And we can only come up with certain ideas, higher ideas that are based in love, are so abstract that we as humans do not get it. When I was little and Jesus would tell, because as a Mexican, you grow up watching these Mexican movies, and a lot of them are based on religion. And sometimes it was, the life of Christ, and then you see Christ, Jesus walking around with his disciples, and then he would turn to Simon and he would say, I love you. For a macho kid from Mexico that just hangs out in the barrio, and just every day out there, just hanging out with the boys, and you don't say that. You don't say that to another dude. But again, talking about the amount of intellect that I had when I was 8, 12 years old, right? But somehow I knew that, okay, well, I guess you have to be that old or that much older to understand these concepts. Somehow I knew I'll get there. I'm not saying I'm there, okay? But I'm starting to understand it more. I'm starting to understand it more, that love is powerful. Love can change a man. Love can change the hardest things. It's like water. It can literally piece away a huge rock, make it into nothing. This is why Jesus had that approach that he had. And this is why when Martin Luther King and I think Mahatma Gandhi, they heard about these methods, they were like, what? That's ridiculous. That could never work. But then they started seeing it that way. And that's what they practice. Cesar Chavez, same kind of individual. Leaders who led from behind, that led with humility, not ostentatious bravado. Because usually guys who speak a lot, say a lot, lengua largas, as we say in Mexico, long-tongued, they do it because they're scared. See, when you grew up in the streets of Mexico, that's taught to you by the other people around you. Like they say, it takes a village. They teach you respect. They teach you to treat others respectfully. If you get too mouthy, somebody else comes around and closes it. If you turn into a chicken, somebody else is going to point it out, so you get out of that. I guess it's shaming, but in a way, it takes a village. And I know it's like, oh, don't tell me how to raise my kid and all that kind of stuff. That's very prevalent these days. And I'm not saying just start telling people how to raise your kids or anything. I'm saying that this has to do with values. And this has to do with spirituality. How much do you value the invisible part of you? Low things come from low forms. You imagine an angel pissing on people. I'm sorry about the visual. But it's like, think about it. That could never happen, right? Which one do you rather be? So I have totally moved away from the point I was trying to make. But if you can remember something, whatever it is anything that I said is this. Excuse me, that was my stomach. It wants to say something too. I said, lunch is out there. But if you want to take something out of this long talk, is a Mexican is someone that has honor and respect and humility instilled into him. You'll see it by the work they do. Okay, I'm not gonna say just by words, but you look around and you see my people always busy, busy, busy. Even if they're standing still, they're selling something. They're standing still outside of a freeway holding a bag of oranges or maybe a bouquet of flowers. They're selling it and not stealing it. They're not, they don't want to be parasites. That's not what they do. Again, look at the tradition of our fighters. Dedicated, humble, hardworking, and always going forward. Warrior mentality. And warriors move with honor, respect, and love for their community. Because there's no such a thing as a lone wolf. Wolves are pack animals. And a wolf who leads, the leader of that pack, is going to be the protector, not the abuser. That's what wolves do. A lone wolf is a wolf who's screwed up and is branched out of the pack. There's something wrong with it. Nobody wants it around. We are everywhere in the world. Mexicans are always doing their best. It's just what we do. So, if you want your team to win, get a Mexican. Have a wonderful day.